Hey everybody, welcome to Shit I Love with Jason Stewart. I'm Jason Stewart and you are?
MASSI FURLAND.
FURLAN, that's how you say it.
You said it perfectly.
I did. Oh, okay.
You're the only person actually here in Hollywood that pronounce it correctly. Thank you very much for making my day already.
And you are from?
Italy.
Oh my God, how lovely. I've always wanted to find a man in Italy, but you're straight, so that's not going to happen. Okay, next. So we met actually on the red carpet, didn't we?
I think so.
Yes.
What project was it?
Oh, that's an email. Well, I got to go now. No, I got to shut off the email so we don't have that going on during the show. I don't remember, but we met on the red carpet, which is such a weird place to meet. But what's interesting about the red carpet, what I learned last year by doing so many red carpets for the movie Birth of a Nation, was that it's not really about taking their picture, because they don't put our picture anywhere. It's about meeting people, because you're on the other side. You're sort of like in the VIP area, and you get to meet all these really cool people. And I've met some wonderful people, and you and I have become friends.
Right.
And you are just such an incredibly hardworking actor, and I so admire that in you. I have to say, I so admire it so much. Now, how long have you been in the United States?
I've been about 20 years. In May will be 20 years. I spent 10 years in Miami, South Beach, and 10 years here.
What was your first acting part?
Ooh, my first acting project was a commercial for Canon with the tennis player Maria Sharapova back in Miami. That was my first job. That's how I became junior. I became SAG.
SAG-AFTRA, which is the Actors Union, because not everybody listening even knows what everything is, but hopefully they do. And I would say that the thing that really, your big credit would be the Batman movie.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises. I will say this the biggest.
Is that the thing that sort of changed everything for you?
Yeah, a little bit. The role wasn't a huge role, but still, being the Batman movie, Christopher Nolan and Tom Hardy, Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway, why not? So yeah, no, that was like it make a little bit of change in my career, yes.
And a little bit of change in your
pocket.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah. Now, how did you get the part?
I auditioned.
Now, how did you
like most of human actors.
How did you get the audition?
I got the audition. I believe through my manager, Cheyenne Martin, a very good friend of mine. She came in the audition, and I remember I went to the audition and. I didn't hear anything for about 2.5 months.
Wow.
2.5 months
So you
later.
just figured it. So this is an actor's life, just for you guys listening. And character actors, you are me, I am you, except you're better looking than me. But you are you, I am me. This is these are the people that I love. I love character actors, and I love that the idea that we have to work so hard in a completely different way to become a part of the fabric of a film. Now, when you got the film, you got to work with Tom Hardy, so you did the audition. Tell me what happened at the audition. Did you think you were going to get it?
Well, at the audition, I didn't know. They were using a different title. So I didn't even know it was the Batman movie.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's the whole thing. I know that casting office, cast a lot of big movies and all Christopher Nolan movie, but I had no clue there was a Batman movie.
Did you know it was a Christopher Nolan film?
No, I didn't know.
Wow.
The title was Fox Hill Green.
Fox Hill Green?
Yeah, that was the fake title they used for the
gosh.
audition. I'm like, well, it's a feature film. I go, I know. It's a Russian bad guy. That's me, even though I'm Italian. But so I went to audition. Then 2.5 months later, after I did my research and I found out that was actually the Batman movie, 2.5 months later, my manager called me and said, hey, remember that audition 2 months ago? I said, yeah, what? So they want you. You got the part. And I'm like freaking out because she had no clue there was. She had no clue still there was the Batman movie.
Did she tell you it was the Batman movie?
She didn't know. I told her, listen, what do you mean? You're not yelling? You're not that happy? It's a Batman movie. She said, what are you talking about? I'll call you right back. Let me check. So she hung up the phone. She called me back in 30 seconds screaming, yeah, it's a Batman movie. You're the Batman movie. I said, okay, I am.
So do you go to the autograph things that they have where you go for the people that are fans? Have you gone to that yet?
No. I never. I might go this year for the first time. I never been to the Comic-Con. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I worked with Batman. Wonder Woman killed me in another movie. And now we have another show that I will talk about it.
See, Wonder Woman killed you, Batman?
Chased me down the street with a motorcycle. So, yeah.
Oh, my God. So what was Tom Hardy like?
Tom Hardy was very nice, very charming. And funny enough, I saw he has a tattoo in his body. I think it was on his chest, on his arm.
On his arm?
Yeah, in Italian. It says "Mio figlio bellissimo," which means "my beautiful son."
But does he have a son?
Yeah, I guess. Unless he's putting a tattoo before, and
just to make sure if I get one, I want my son to feel really good.
Right. And I told, joking around, I told him that it was misspelled. It was spelled wrong. So I'm Italian. You don't write like that. So it was kind of a joke. But it was like, wait a second. What do you mean? So, but it was very, very nice guy, and he was joking a lot and all that. I remember, tried to get me in trouble with Christopher Nolan. So we had a lot of fun.
So you got to work with Lindsay Lohan on Liz and Dick.
Yeah.
Did you do a scene with her during this whole time when she was so popular and everything was crazy?
My scene was with Grant Bowler, which played the other character, the main character.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
And played Richard Burton.
Richard Burton, yeah, he played Richard Burton, right? And funny enough, because I worked with Lindsay Lohan, I had my first interview with TMZ. Because of course they wanted to know how it was to work with her. So the answer will be the same one that I gave to TMZ. No comment.
Why? Was it crazy?
Of course she was. Everybody knows that. But yeah. What?
Oh,
Did I just say that?
It's okay.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it was a little strange, but the movie. I was about to say the movie did okay, but I would be lying.
The book was great.
Oh, the book was very good.
I read the book. The book was great. I mean, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, for those at home who don't know them, if you're under 30, I met someone at a party recently who didn't know who Richard Burton was and barely knew who Elizabeth Taylor was. And at the time, they were the first people who sort of ignited the whole idea of paparazzi in America and TMZ and those kind of shows that didn't even exist. They lived on a houseboat because they wanted to be living away from people because it was so crazy when they were married for the 10 or 12 years, the two marriages that they had, because they got married and divorced, and then they got married and divorced twice after 10 years and then after 11 years.
Wow. But by the way, when Lindsay, she's mentally stable, she's a great actress.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Is she? When she?
You never know.
Right.
You never know. You've just been working on so many incredible. You've gotten to work on so many incredible television shows. The Last Ship. You worked with the guy from Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
That show was really a lot of fun. I would get to work on because it certainly was. It's a period thing of some sort. Is it?
Yeah. It's a story about a virus. There is a virus. There's a military involved. Yeah, and it was like. In that show, like most of the shows, I got killed immediately because I played the villain. So the villain always died, or at least MASSI FURLAND character always dies. But yeah, first in my career, I think I did.
So that's your book. That's what your book is going to.
I should, yeah.
I always die.
My friend actually came out with a great hashtag for me, which I use on Instagram. Is dead men working.
Dead men working.
Yeah, it's a good one. But my first, I think it was 10 or 11 shows, I died 11 times out of 11 shows. So it was a great achievement. Yeah, especially when I was a stand-up comedian in Italy, which means...
I did not know you were a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I was doing it in Italy. And then here's the transaction to America and Hollywood. Stand-up comedian, villain that dies every time. But
wow.
It's fun.
So you started as a stand-up comedian?
A stand-up comedian, yeah. I was doing an impersonation of celebrities in Italy, a famous actor, famous singer. So I was saying my jokes with their voices. Yeah.
Who is the most famous person that you did that people would know here in America?
Oh, I don't know. There was this, let me think. Could be the Pope, John Paul II.
Uh-huh. Can you do his voice?
Yeah. I think I remember. Let's see. Carissimi fratelli, vi benedico nel nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo.
That's the one that left, right?
That's the one that.
Not the new one.
Yeah, no, the one. No, not the one that left. It's the one before the one that left. This was the nice one, John Paul II. It was from Holland. Then we have the middle one, which is the Nazi.
Right.
Gave up in God.
Right.
basically, And now we have a nice one again. We have the guy.
He's
from
way
Argentina.
past nice. He makes you almost want to be Catholic. He's
Yeah,
such a good guy.
He leaves the Vatican City at night. He dressed like a regular priest. He goes out and feed the homeless people.
Do people know that it's him?
Well, probably some people recognize him, but he does it like hush hush. So, but he's a very nice guy apparently.
So who else? Italian. Well, I'm just thinking of Italian stars that I would know really well.
Roberto Benigni.
Of course. Can you do him?
Yes, if I remember.
Oh, go ahead. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, but Madonna mia, come state voi? Tutti bene? Che facciamo? Dove si va? Che si fa? Dove si va? Ma tu ricordi quella volta che siamo andati a vedere questo film? Ma è una cosa pazzesca, è una cosa incredibile. Mamma mia, che cose, eh? Che dici, Jason? Facciamo un film insieme, perché dai?
Does that mean thank you for the Oscar?
That means, Jason, why we don't make a movie together?
Oh, I would love that. Yeah. With you or Roberto?
Yeah, with Roberto Benigni, right?
Oh my God! He sort of came here and did that film.
Life is Beautiful,
and won the Oscar, and then did this.
They won 3 Oscars.
Yeah, picture, director, and
best actor, picture, foreign picture, and music.
Oh, music. Okay, I thought it was director. Didn't win director.
No.
Oh, I have to look up who won that year. So for Italy, that was such a big deal. But then he went away. He did Pinocchio, which I thought was so weird.
It was bad. Yeah.
Because how many times are we going to see that movie over and over again?
Yeah.
And he never came back and did anything else in America.
No, he's doing a lot of politics now in Italy.
Political films?
Yeah, not political. No. He's into politics.
Oh, he's running for office.
It's not really running, but is into politics and stuff, so he hasn't done anything in a long time. I don't know if he ever will again. But
Do you follow politics in Italy? Do you still?
No, please not.
It's crazier than it is here, right?
Well, it's funny.
Nothing could be crazier than us.
You got a good point because let's face it. Until like a year ago, everybody, the whole world, American, they were making fun of Italians because we have Berlusconi, but you guys now with Trump, we're kind of even.
Yeah, but you're American now, right?
I know.
So it's not you guys anymore. You're part of
right.
us.
And I'm a citizen, yeah.
Yes.
So yes. Either way,
you can't complain.
I can't win either way because if I stay here or I go to Italy, I have both crazy people. 2 crazy brothers. But yeah, everybody was making fun of Italy about the election and everything. In 70 years, we have 65 different governments. It is insane. And now they just did the election like a couple weeks ago, and nobody won. They're doing a coalition. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So do you miss Italy? Do you miss being there? I miss my family, obviously, my friends. But, I go once a year. Did you act a lot in Italy? No, really. Just stand-up comedy? I just stand-up comedy. I was in the military for 6 years. I was flying helicopters. But when you were doing stand-up comedy, were you famous doing it, or were you just a working guy? No, I was just a working guy. We're just doing shows in different clubs. Did you do TV shows or stand-up comedy? No, just in clubs. And when you came here? When I came here, I went to Miami for 10 years. And did you do stand-up there? No, and there I was working in the restaurant business with my brother. Oh my God. I opened a few pizza places, though. I was teaching guys how to make pizzas. And I opened 6 places. So what got you back into acting? Getting tired of working in the restaurant business and wanting to entertain and make people laugh. Because, like I said, the joy. But you don't play. You barely do any comedy. I know. Your whole everything you do here is it's drama. It's sad. You're murdered. You're killed. But wait, the last 3 roles are not villains, so we'll talk about that. Right? Okay. But like I was saying, what gives me pleasure is to make people smile, make people laugh. That's why I wanted to be an entertainer. That's why I wanted to be a comedian. Then, I had this transition with, in Hollywood for 10 years playing a villain, which was fun and still fun. But eventually I liked to do comedy. So let's talk about my last 3 roles. I work in a non-profit film to benefit autism. Oh. We shot that in Rhode Island. Say it again? We shot that in Rhode Island. Oh, right, Rhode Island. Right. I'm going to translate for you. Yeah, thank you. Can we put subtitles too, just in case? So and on this movie, I play the Italian gay owner of an art gallery. What's the name of the movie? Randy's Canvas. Uh-huh.
Say it again.
Randy's Canvas.
Okay.
And what you see on my entity?
I don't see it. Randy's.
Yeah, it should. It's already probably down there.
Oh, here it is.
There we go.
Yes, it is. You've done so many movies this year.
Yeah.
You work with Scout Taylor Compton.
Yes.
Who I work with again on Diverted Eden. I work with everybody I know. You know.
It's funny. Funny enough,
It happens to us constantly.
She just sent me a message yesterday saying, "I will call you soon. I need to talk to Scout. So if you're there listening, Scout,
I asked her to do this show. She hasn't called me.
I'm waiting for your phone call." But and then I did the other two projects. I did the Gianni Versace, which
you played a designer.
I played the gay designer. So
oh, you were gay?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, you can tell
from
the
know.
picture. But yeah, and
what was it like to work with Edgar Ramirez?
Most of my scene was with Penelope. Edgar was on set, and
yes.
we did a scene, but I didn't interact with him.
Was he friendly?
Yeah, it was nice. Ricky Martin.
It's a very different role for him.
Yes, yeah, and he looks amazing.
Weight, and
he looks identical.
Oh, yes.
And they had a dialect coach on set, and I'm Italian, one of the very few Italians on the show, and.
Do you think Italian people feel uncomfortable with that when there's not a lot of Italians? Because, she's from Spain and he...
Well, nobody's Italian. They get to be... Edgar is from Venezuela.
Right.
She's from Spain. Ricky Martin is from Puerto Rico. And, I'm sure Italian, they'll get upset about it. But, me as an actor, I can't get upset.
And then you play gay. So.
And not just that. I play Russian most of the time. So... I can't complain. Being an actor is to be able to portray different characters, different role. If you look Italian, you do a good Italian accent, and you speak Italian, why not? That's what we do. The only thing that I have to say about the show, which I really like the show, and it was amazing to work on.
I'm still watching it myself.
The only person that I don't understand why this person didn't even try to have an Italian accent. Because, Penelope, she did a very good job. Edgar did a very good job. Ricky Martin didn't even try to have an Italian accent. And he plays a 100% Italian guy, which is Robert D'Amico, is Gianni Versace's boyfriend. So I don't know what happened there.
Maybe he just couldn't, and then they decided to just let him be who he was.
Perfect. So in that case, going back to your question, yes, they should hire an Italian actor.
Yes. Yes.
Even though Ricky Martin is super famous. But, okay. Hopefully Ryan Murphy is not listening to this.
I hope that he is. At least let him get mad and hire one of us again. Right. Who directed your episode? It wasn't Ryan Murphy?
No, it wasn't her. It was a lovely lady. I forgot her name now. I don't know.
He has, what Ryan Murphy is doing this thing for 50-50, using as many women directors as men directors.
Oh, that's great.
What did you think of Penelope in it?
Penelope, she was great. At first, I thought they were going with Lady Gaga.
Oh,
that was the first. I think it was one of the first.
That would have been interesting because she's Italian American, but
yeah, and I don't know about she can pull the accent, but she already worked on American Horror Story with Ryan Murphy. So I thought that was a good fit. But then they went with Penelope, which is an amazing actress. She speaks fluent Italian and perfect with no accent because I spoke with her on set, and she did a good accent as well. So
and Donatella must be thrilled.
They're very good friends.
Are they? Because she looks beautiful.
Right. There were a little controversy about the show, and TMZ actually interviewed me when I came back from Vancouver recently, and because they said the Versace family, they're upset about the show because they're showing things that are not real. Well, it's a fiction too. So, but because they're saying that on the show they say they had cancer, right? And he never had cancer. Well, apparently never came out on the news. Nobody ever talked about Gianni Versace having cancer.
Didn't say that he had HIV?
HIV as well, which was never proven, never came out. HIV, there was a rumor maybe, but cancer never came out in the news. I remember it was in Italy, and I never heard about that.
Maybe in the show itself they said it was kept very private. And he didn't want people to know because in those days, if you let people know that you were sick in something, you wouldn't work. Right.
But I understand the point of view of the show, and his fiction is a show. But, I heard that, the Versace family were upset about this detail and stuff. And, when TMZ asked me how I feel about it, I can't really say much because, first of all, I don't know the truth.
Right.
I don't know the facts. All I know is that I'm on Ryan Murphy's show, and I'm happy to be there.
And then you got to be on Supernatural in the same week.
Oh, yeah. Supernatural was...
Tell everybody what you played on that.
On Supernatural, I play the Father Luca Camilleri. I play a priest.
Wait, Father Luca
Camilleri.
Camilleri. Crazy?
Yeah. It's funny because on the show there was a role for an Italian mafia guy, and I was like, wait, this is me, perfect. And especially that casting office always called me for bad guy roles. And when I got cast for the priest, I was like, let me check the script, because probably the priest is the bad guy at the end, because how they're going to hire me as a nice guy and a priest now? I never done that before. But, you know, he was a really nice guy.
And you said you got an incredible amount of fan mail.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of messages. I got a lot of followers, a lot of messages reaching out. And
followers on social media.
Social media, right. And, they really like the character, the priest. All my friends that know me, they were waiting for me to pull a gun out at the end of the show and kill somebody.
Or kill yourself.
Yeah, but they got disappointed because I survived and I didn't kill anybody. But I got a few messages that some lady told me, I want to thank Father Luca Camilleri for restoring faith in God. They're restoring my faith in God again. I'm like, wow, that's pretty powerful. I'm like, thank you. So I'm like, yeah, it was very successful.
You just never know how you're going to touch certain people
right.
in your work.
I have a long monologue in the scene when I talk about the world not being perfect, that we have to try and work hard to make things happen. So that speech really affected a lot of people. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of that. I'll tell you the speech later.
I would love to. I'm sorry I didn't get to see that show. But I just noticed you. I didn't know that you were in Murder on the Orient Express. I saw that.
On what?
Murder on the Orient Express.
Am I? I just got a new role?
It's so funny. It's on your IMDb page. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm on Penelope Miller's play. Penelope Cruz's page. Oh my God, I'm on her page by accident.
I just thought I got cast in the movie.
I was thinking that I'm on the wrong page. Oh, God. Well, with that, I'm going to do a little commercial here.
Yes.
For our sponsor. I'm so glad to have a sponsor. It's your home away from home in Silver Lake at Casa Crawford, in strolling distance to both Echo Park and Silver Lake. Casa Crawford is the perfect bed and breakfast, a home away from home. It's miles from downtown, just around 3 miles from downtown and Hollywood. You have your own large bedroom with gorgeous artwork and just beautiful, beautiful view of the hills, the Hollywood Hills. Call now for reservations at 323-663-1664. That's 323-663-1664. And ask for Scott. He's my friend, and he's a sponsor of our show. Thank you so much, Scott. Anyway, you've gotten to work in so many things, and can I even say this? And agents, you and I have talked about agents for so much, agents and managers, and how hard it is to get somebody that's really willing to stand up for you with a body of work. I remember the first time you called me, and we talked about publicists and who would be the good PR person, because you met mine at the time.
Right.
And it's so hard to get a good agent. I mean, people don't realize that. And I think what's really interesting about you to me is the idea that you work so hard to find work and to look through. Even today, you said, hey, do you know this guy?
Right.
I said, yeah, I do. Can you call? Can you make an introduction? I mean, and I have such respect for that. Is that an Italian thing? Is that sort of an LA thing that you got? Or because I mean, if you could go down your resume, I bet you could tell me who helped you get interviewed for this or that part.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because it's not your agents or managers.
Right. Well, I believe we have to work hard for our own career, right? And I really, really work hard for mine, and I always hustle and try to find a way. So yeah, I got a lot of work because of my homework. Yeah.
That's it. What's your secret? What's your secret? Do you think that
like
young actors listening or something? What would be your secret?
Well, from young actor listening, if you have an agent, so make sure you go out, you take acting classes, you go out, you do audition. That's the right way to do it the proper way.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it's nice.
It would be nice if you get it right. Then I'm OCD. I like to be organized and everything, and everything professional. So do a lot of research and stuff. And like you said, I find out today that they're doing a movie about Al Capone with Tom Hardy that I work in the Batman movie. So I did a little research, very simple stuff, and I saw that one of the producers is a producer on a movie that you worked on. And
Yes.
that's the connections. That's why I asked you. And in some cases, maybe he's a very good friend of yours that you make an introduction and there he goes and I get a part in the movie.
Always happy to do that for a friend.
Yeah.
Myself,
Yeah.
I always am, because I think if somebody's a good actor, there's the old adage, and it's a terrible adage that some people think, is you cannot be friends with people that are not talented. Because one day they're going to call you and ask you for something. You're going to have to say no, and then they'll never like you again.
Right.
You know, and that's, it's a terrible adage, but it's the truth in life. You know, when you go in for an audition or stuff, do you go completely off book, or
Yes.
You do?
100% off book.
Why?
Because I don't like to I think the emotions and the emotion you have in the character that they will. It's better if you off book, because I don't like to read. Read take me off.
But what if you make a mistake, or what if you forget where you are? Or...
Well, I hold the pages.
Oh, so
I hold the pages in case I forget.
Because sometimes you get nervous, or you just something goes through your head. Or...
Right. You know, like we say, shit happens, right?
Right.
But yeah, I hold the pages, but I always go prepare. Completely 100% off book. I did an audition for a series where I on a TV show. It was 10 pages.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I went off book. And what's funny of that audition, I won't say the name of the project or the name of the casting office, but what's funny that I went in the room and it was the main casting director was there, standing with the camera next to me, and she goes like, "Are you ready?" I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Okay, go." I'm like, "Wait a second, are you not turning the camera on?" And she goes like, "Oh, no, it's just me." So there was nobody else in the room. The camera was off. She wasn't even looking at me because she was reading the sides to doing the audition with me. So basically, I auditioned for ghosts. Nobody ever saw that audition.
Why?
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. She decided to do that. So, and I spent the whole weekend preparing 10 pages impeccably off book.
What did she say after you were done?
"Oh, that was great. Isn't this such a great character for you?" That's what she said.
But there was a camera in the room.
Yeah, the camera on the tripod standing right next to her. Weird, huh?
And you never asked why?
I let several things down because I was livid. I was very upset.
Right.
Especially, actually, I wasn't upset at the moment. When I got in the car and I sit in the car, I realized, "Hey, Massi, you just did an audition that nobody will ever see." She's, if she decide not to say anything, I'm like, so I realized that. I waited a couple of days. I let it settle, and then I sent an email to the casting assistant, and I told him, "Listen, I didn't know it was a pre-read." And the guy apologized.
A pre-read means...
Pre-read means you go and just read with the casting, and then if she thinks you're good, you go back and you do the audition.
Or not just good, if you're right for the part.
If you're right for the part.
Because there's so many variables when you're casting for something.
Right.
It's whether you're the type they want, whether you're with the agent they want to work with, whether you have the notoriety, whether they think you have the notoriety, what have you done before, who are you, what's your numbers in social media.
Right.
There's so many things right now.
Right. In this case, it was a Russian bad guy role, which I played a million times.
Right. Who got the part? Do you know?
I don't know who got the part.
I never look anymore. I don't look. Once I audition, I try to just let it go.
Oh yeah, you have.
Because I would go crazy.
Right.
Once in a while, you'll see something and you'll be in a movie. You'll go, "God, that sounds so familiar. That dialogue." And you'll remember, "Oh my God, I auditioned for that part."
But sometimes it can get you closure. I make you an example. Now you go on audition, right? You read for the role, and then you don't get the part. 2 months from now, you go and you check and you see, "Oh, MASSI FURLAND got the role." And you say, "Well, they were looking for a handsome guy. That's why." And you get closure, right?
Thank you. So I'm not a handsome guy. No,
you would say you
right on my show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right on my show.
Anyway, going back, so I said
this is him he's been here 20 years. He still doesn't understand the sense of humor, and still doesn't. No wonder he didn't become a big comedy star.
But we're not on camera, so they don't know if I'm good looking or not. Maybe I'm.
They'll
lying.
see a picture of you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll look you up.
Right.
No, you just never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
And you have to do your due diligence. in terms of your working. And you work very hard on your auditions, obviously.
You said it perfectly. Once you leave the audition room, it's not up to you. You did what you could. That's it. Forget about it. It's nothing you can do at that point. You did what you did. If they want you, they call you. A lot of people say, "Oh, can you call and find out?" No, we don't need to call and find out if you did good. If you did good, they call you to book you.
And no, but it doesn't matter because you may have done good and you weren't right, or
Exactly.
or they wanted someone else, or there's somebody's friend, or somebody who was had a bigger agent. I learned that so much last year by working on this big movie, Birth of a Nation. I talk about it a lot because it was a big changer for me in my career.
By the way, guys, Jason is amazing in that movie.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
Very, very good role.
It was an incredible artistic experience, but it also was a great experience in working with Fox Searchlight and working with all these really big actors, Nate Parker and Roger Gendra Smith, Jackie Earle Haley, Penelope Ann Miller, Asia Naomi King. Everybody had 3 names but me. I think that's why, I think that was the problem. But you see who has the agent and who gets the billing and who doesn't have the agent and who.
Right.
I got billing because Nate Parker gave me billing. The agent wouldn't negotiate that for me. I asked, and they said...
Sometimes they're scared, yeah.
Yeah, and I always think it never hurts to ask. And but when you're with a certain agency, they'll do it for you. And then that changes when you go on tour with the film, festivals and red carpets and premieres. It changes the way they behave and how much money you have to spend on a publicist and how much in order to be included and all these things and for people to see you in a certain light. And do you find that if you work too hard and you contact people directly and you try to work it, as I call it, do you find that people think less of you, or do you think? Because I think
the people might think less of you if you don't have the resume to back up your story. That's what I believe. Because if you're too desperate, you haven't done much. That's probably too much. You're going too far, I think.
So if you have the credits and you have the ability to when you get into the room, I find that some people don't like it when you work too hard. They want you just to appear as if you were in some sort of fantasy movie about actors, and they don't want you to do it. They want other people to do it for you. In any other business, maybe there are other business, but our business, it seems that way. And myself, I like hard workers. I feel like I want to support that and support those people. And when I see someone that does, and they're good, then I go, Do you care about the size of a role? Because I've changed with that lately.
No, I don't. Sometimes you get a small role and a pivotal scene in the movie that is very memorable,
or it's a big show and you want to be a part of it.
Or it's a big show, you want to be part of it, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, the size of the role. In fact, I think I only have 1 lead or 2 lead in the movie so far out of my 60 or whatever credits, and so I'm not the leading type.
No, I have 1 leading part in a movie that I produced.
Yeah. You give yourself a lead role.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Well, the only reason because I was the only one that would work for free the whole time. But I think, myself, I'm a character actor.
Right.
This changed for me, and I wonder if this changed for you. So in the beginning of my career, and still occasionally, I will do a 1-scene part if it's a good part. But I was really good at making a beginning, middle, and an end in that scene. And then I started getting bigger parts around 10 or 12 years ago. And all of a sudden I realized, I don't have to do everything in each scene. I can, build the character in the actual piece. Did you find that was a challenge, or did you find that there was a transition moment for you when you started doing bigger roles?
Yes, and yes, it was nice, to go to the next step and do some larger role or like semi-lead role. It was hard too because it's a lot of work.
Yes.
Sometimes you used to do like 1-2 scenes. You go, you shoot somebody, you kill somebody, you do a Russian accent, and you're done. And then when it gets more into prepare the character, you in the whole movie, you're working for 2 or 3 weeks and stuff like that. That's a completely different kind of job,
So did you find you didn't have to put everything into that? You didn't have to put everything into the one part, into the one scene. Was there?
You spread it out.
So did you find that? Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what I found very, very much so. Now you had last year. You had Keeping Up with the Joneses. Live by.
When Wonder Woman killed me. Gal Gadot, she's in the movie.
Oh yeah.
She played Wonder Woman. She threw a knife in my neck.
Oh my God. Oh right. Of course. Yes. Yes. And then Live by Night.
Yeah, that with Ben
Affleck.
Yeah.
And there was one other, right?
Last year.
The comedy. There was a comedy.
That Keeping Up with the Joneses is the comedy. There was a Trafficked.
Trafficked.
It's a movie with Ashley Judd about human trafficking.
Yes. It's on cable now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes. I thought that Live by Night was really Ben Affleck's follow-up movie, directorial movie, and I was very surprised that it didn't do well. It came out, and it was a really good film.
I like that too. They were aiming to get 14 nominations for the Oscars, and they got a big fat 0. So that was very disappointing.
But it's interesting, somebody as well known as him, so you just never know.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen.
Not just him. They had Chris Cooper, which won an Oscar. They have a lot of Oscar winners in the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio was one of the producers. Mm-hmm. And the editor was a winning editor. The DP won 3 Oscars with Quentin Tarantino and was DPing the movie. And Ben Affleck won 2 Oscars and was working lead actor and director. So,
what is it like working with people that have been so successful? I find that the more successful somebody is, usually the nicer they are.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
The less fear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Super nice people. Chris Cooper, Ben Affleck, everybody was super nice. And even like we talked about Penelope Cruz before, yeah, the bigger they are, the nicer they are.
But what do you learn? What have you learned from somebody who's been so successful when you're working on a film? What have you learned from them?
I learned not that I panic or get nervous, but
I always get nervous.
You do?
I still get nervous. Oh, yeah. Right before when I'm driving up, and no matter what it is, because I want to do a good job.
Right. Well, I learned, from them, they seemed like not to getting nervous or being panicking. So, I'm like, wow, they're cool. They have like 6 pages dialogue to do in a few minutes, and they're not even rehearsing. They're not even reading the sides. So, not that makes me a better actor, but at least I'm thinking, relax. If you know you've done your work, and you memorize the line, you've done your work, you prepared the character, you're ready to go. A lot of times, if I go to audition, I'm nervous. I know I prepare like 5 pages, let's say, and I know I have it in me. And then like 2 minutes before going in the room, I'm thinking, oh my God, what about if I forget that line? And then I tell to myself, impossible. You already learned it. You know the pages. And you're thinking, oh shit, I don't remember what page 3 now. And then all stops when I go in. It all comes out of my mouth. And I rarely forget lines at the audition. So
have you ever forgotten lines on the set? And
on this, oh yeah, everybody does. Yeah, I forgot a line on set. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, but one time it was an audition. It was my worst audition ever. It was for Criminal Minds Behind Border, something like that. It's a TV show now called like that. Mm-hmm. It was for a role for an Italian inspector, and I don't know what happened that time. I was so nervous. I messed it up. I forgot the line. The director was in the room. He asked me to do it again. I forgot the line. And then the third time, I did it again. And this time I forgot the line, but I didn't stop. I just said something else. Okay. And I finished and I left. I was so embarrassed. And
why didn't you read the paper?
Huh?
Why didn't you read it from the paper?
Yeah, well, I had it. I was reading it, but
you just couldn't get it out. Yeah, it happens.
He stopped that moment. But you know what's funny? That's a good story.
It happens. And you're human, and it just happens.
That's a good story. You know what happened? So I left that audition. I was so embarrassed, and I went down. And about 25 minutes later, one of the actors who was auditioning, was a friend of mine, came out. He was auditioning 3 actors after me, and he came out and he started hugging me and said, "Hey man, I'm so happy for you. You're gonna get it." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" Yeah. I know you're gonna get this one. I'm like, "You joking?" And he didn't know I messed up, right? So I'm like, I was confused. What is he talking about? And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I have no chance to get in it. I messed it up. No, I'm telling you, you get in it. I said, why? He said, I went in 20 minutes after you, and the director was still looking at your resume because I could see your face on the headshot. And I'm like, oh, let me explain. The director was probably reading the resume thinking, how the hell this actor works so much when he can act for shit because I messed it up.
Well, the thing is I believe that your ability never leaves. You just had this moment, but it doesn't matter. Your ability never leaves. I don't think you would ever look like a bad actor. No. I think that doesn't.
He was
happen.
Confused probably. No, it's like, what happened to this Massi?
You just didn't have confidence in that moment, and it is about confidence and about being able to listen,
right?
You know, and being able to be in the moment and be in that space. I find the first day is hard, and then after that, I'm fine.
Yes.
Or the first hours, or I get nervous meeting people, and because it's very personal what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really personal. And I think that if you're prepared, that's what it's about, being prepared. I work with Armie Hammer on Birth of a Nation, and he taught me something. They were trying to get this shot done by a certain time because then they'd have to go into overtime, and everybody was very stressed. And he just got up and walked away. I said, where are you going? And he says, it's too stressful. I'm going to just go off to the side and wait until they get things set up. And I thought, oh my God, I can leave too. I said, can I come with you? He says, yeah, come on. And I realized, I don't have to stay in it. I can walk away, wait for them to call me again, and then come back. I always think that I have to stay so I will be in the whole mix of everything. And I guess at the time I didn't, because it was so fast. I thought I don't want to have them look for me. But when you see somebody who's done so many starring roles and things, there's a certain air of confidence that they have that you learn from them. That I think is even at my age, after being an actor for 42 years, I still learn. I'm still learning from people, and sometimes from younger people.
By the way, guys, he said he's been in the business for 42 years, and he doesn't even look 42 years old. So I'm doing the math here. I said, when did you
There is no
acting?
math to do. There's no math to do. It doesn't make any sense. I'm nothing. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. You're on the most...
That was a compliment.
Yes, I think you're right, and I took it as a compliment.
Oh,
good. You did The Bay, which is that series that's in that won an Emmy. It was the first digital. It was two Emmys. Yeah. It's been on 3 seasons. I know a friend of mine is working on it too. This young actor that I've been mentoring, Jake Hunter, and it's a series that's.
It's on Amazon now, right?
Yeah, but it's one. Yes, it won a digital for digital, which is a new category. Yeah. So you've done everything from the most wonderful Batman movie to something as small as the Bay. In the same, I feel very much of a simpatico with you. Mm-hmm. Did you work with Ashley Judd herself on Trafficked?
No.
Who did you work with on that?
I worked with who was it was all the
great director though, Will Wallace.
Yes.
Didn't he direct
Terrence? Terrence. What's his name? His son. I don't know his name. But yeah, I didn't work. I worked with Patrick Duffy. And then I worked with Sean Patrick Flannery.
Oh,
he
wow.
has 3 names. See, 3 names work, man.
We got to check.
I'm going to add MASSI FURLAND III.
I think, or MASSI, John.
MASSI Bobby FURLAND. We got it? We should do it like a poll. We should vote for the third name to add to my name. Bobby or something. Yeah. MASSI Bobby FURLAND. Sounds good. Sean Patrick Flannery, right?
Oh, Sean sure. Yeah. Wonderful actor. Mm-hmm. He's done a lot of things. I mean, I know that he had done a thing called Red Wing.
Yeah.
And he also did, I thought when he did Gone, because I did a series called Gone, but I hadn't worked with him. No, and he's also been an actor himself. So it was probably really interesting to work with him. I've worked with a number of people that have been actors also. And I find that there's a certain understanding of what we do a little more than... Did you work with Jason London or?
No, he was in the movie, but I didn't work with him.
Anne Archer?
Anne Archer, yes.
You did work with her.
I didn't have a scene with her, but
you met her?
I met her on set.
Oscar nominated for Fatal Attraction.
Super nice lady.
Yeah. And Ashley Judd, certainly one of my favorite actresses who turned her career around completely from coming from a famous family and being treated seriously.
Right.
So there's all sorts of ways that you can just change your career. You coming from Italy, being a stand-up comedian, going into another business, and then coming here and being a very successful working actor. I mean, it's people don't realize how difficult it is to do. It always looks so, because when you do the work, it looks like it's falling right off of you.
No.
So if people want to get a hold of you, how do they find you?
I'm on Instagram, MASSI FURLAND.
Do you have a website?
No, I don't have a website.
Okay, so if anybody needs Massi and they completely forget how to spell his name and they don't know, remember because they haven't understood a word he said.
Oh, wow.
Go to jasonstuart.com, STUART, and contact me, and I can contact you with him. I know where he is. I know where he lives. I know everything. Oh, you also work with Elizabeth Rome on there. I work with her, too, on the movie. You and I have 6 degrees of separation, so we have to wind up in a movie someday.
Right.
So thank you so much for doing my show.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Everyone, take care, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.